Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Commute. This one's going to be a bit of a shorter one, but I was actually just thinking about this the other day. Have you ever really stopped to think about the wonders of USB? I know that's probably a silly thing to say, but for a lot of us who use computers today, which is just, which is about everybody, even if you use just tablets or phones, if you're using an Android phone, you're used to USB. Like, everything you use is USB. Now, there's different connectors for USB, which can be kind of annoying, like if you have like a micro USB, but you need a mini USB, and then like the connectors are slightly different, or if you need I don't even know. There's not really that many variants, but there's just enough variants, especially early on in USB, to where like you need to charge a phone or a camera or something like that. Back when you had like digital cameras, you just plug in and charge with the USB. And so like you'd use those things, and I don't know, I feel like for a lot of people these days, because they didn't grow up with the proprietary connectors, we didn't grow up with having to like dock your digital camera when digital cameras first became a thing. And you didn't have to really fuss with like, you didn't have to fuss with your parallel ports or your serial ports or these different things. Like or your DIN connectors or whatever, and you just plug it in. Like you just plug, like, oh, you got a printer, plug in the USB cable. You got a camera, you plug in the USB camera. You got a microphone, you plug in the USB microphone. Like, it's all USB. It's all standardized, and it makes life so much more simple. And I think I honestly kind of forgot about it now. Like, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I recently acquired 3 old Power Macs, so PowerPC Macintosh computers, and they are so fun. I'm having so much fun using them. I got a Power Mac G3, one of the beige towers from I think '97. I got a blue and white Power Mac G3 from '99, and a one of the aluminum giant, like really really heavy Power Mac G5s. I think it's from 2006. I know that they had a few different models that came out over the years. I think it was like 2003 to 2006 is when they had the G5s. Mine's from 2006, but it's delightful. I'm having so much fun with those things. And I was hooking them up to play with them, and the G3 worked great. It even has FireWire, which is amazing, because I have a FireWire cable. I just don't have anything to plug it into, which FireWire is another thing too, but we won't talk about that right now. FireWire was awesome. I kind of want to find like a FireWire camera, like a digital camera from back in the day, and try using that, or even like a first generation iPod that used a FireWire connection. That would be cool. Nonetheless, I'm a little scatterbrained this morning. But when I was trying to hook up the old beige tower Power Mac G3, that one I realized doesn't have any USB on it. And so I'm looking at, it's got a parallel connector for your printer. It's got it's got I can't remember what it's like, an ADB or ABD or something like that. It's a Apple proprietary connector, so I can't even connect the keyboard to it. So I was looking at it, and I'm gonna have to find some sort of an adapter or a dongle or an original time appropriate keyboard for it. And so right now it's just kind of sitting there, but it just kind of brought to mind how many connectors we used to have to use and manage on a regular basis back in the 90s, and even somewhat in the early 2000s. But by that point, they were kind of phasing in early USB support for most new computers that were out there. There's at least one. Like, I have an old ThinkPad, T42 ThinkPad from 2004, and that one still has a bunch of different ports. That one has a parallel port on the back. It's got a serial adapter on it, which actually makes working on switches really easy nowadays. Because you have to find so many different adapters and dongles and stuff to make it work. It's annoying. But nonetheless, there's still like 2 or 4 USB ports on that laptop, even though it's got all these other things on it. And I don't think I really realized until looking at that Apple connector that I have to find an adapter for, to realize like, oh, this has actually been USB has been really amazing, revolutionary technology for computing. Does it have its flaws? Yes, absolutely. USB-C, I feel like, fixes a lot of those things, and hopefully we can keep with that form factor for a long time, because having a single, truly universal adapter for all these different technologies is flinging amazing. It's great. Now, I'm not gonna. Now, like when it comes to mouse and keyboard support, I still prefer PS2. I like the instant input feedback of a PS2 keyboard. I use a PS2 keyboard on my desktop at home. I even have a PS2 mouse that I've been using. Though I think one of the pins is broken on that. But anyway, I just wanted to take a minute because I know not a lot of us think about these things because we just use our computers. We just are used to using it. And a lot of people who are just normal people don't really think about it either. But when you stop and you think about where we are with computers and phones and technology today, oftentimes it's hard to remember, or it's easy to just not think about where we came from and all the changes that occurred along the way. So anyway, I just want to leave it there. Just figured, quick little thing, giving a shout out to USB because it is a wonderful technology that I feel like we all take for granted, even though it's annoying that you have to try 3 times to plug in your USB on your computer, because nobody ever gets it right the first time. At least I don't. Maybe that's me. Anyway, if you want to follow me, go over to rebornjumpman.com. You can also find me on Twitter and Odyssey at rebornjumpman. I'm also on Minds at retropunk. And until next time, everyone, I'll talk to you later.